What nonsense is this? Look at my new dress here. I don't believe. After deciding to travel, the husband and wife meet the maid in the kitchen to give some instructions. The man then says, Lillian, just like I told you, we're going on an emergency trip, but we'll arrive in 2 days. Don't forget to feed our dog and organize things, okay? The maid says yes, she will take care of everything. He thanks and says goodbye to the maid. And then they leave the house. A few minutes later, the maid Lillian takes her cell phone and says, "Oh, how good. The house is all for me this weekend. I'm going to text my sexy boyfriend." And, in an audio for him, she says, "Hi baby, do you remember when I told you that my bosses were going to travel? So it's today. They went on a trip and the house could be ours in the next few days. I'll wait for you here, I'm dying to make passionate love to you." And the boyfriend, all happy with what he had just heard, replies, "All right baby, I'm on my way." Meanwhile, at the boss's house, Lillian plans to do some more mischief. To herself, she says, "You want to know something? I'm going to put on that dress of my boss. I'll go see." Immediately she goes to her boss room and starts going through the wardrobe looking for a dress. She then starts looking at several. Even though they are all expensive dresses, she complains, "No, this one is very cheesy. This very simple too. Wow, this one is amazing. Yeah, I'm definitely going to put this one." And, after choosing a black style dress, she goes to the bathroom to try it on and starts admiring herself. "I'm going to apply a lipstick to look it even prettier for my boyfriend." After getting ready in the bathroom, she finds one of her mistress's heeled sandals. The maid decides to put it on too. Once again, she admires herself in front of the mirror, loving what she sees. Wow, what an amazing ass. Today I am crazy to make love. And going to the living room, she sits down to wait for her boyfriend. "Now just wait," she says. The boyfriend rings the doorbell and she goes running to answer him. All excited, she says her boyfriend can go up. Right after opening the door, the two make out right there. And after another hot kiss, she says, "I have a surprise for you," and throws red panties at him. At that moment, she runs out and says, "Come get it." The two run towards the boss's room and throw themselves on the big, soft bed. At this point, they have no idea what is happening in the building. After canceling the trip at the last minute, Lillian's bosses, very angry with what happened, returned to the apartment. When they opened the door, they were faced with a big mess in the room. All the pillows thrown on the floor, and they didn't understand. The husband, shocked by what he saw, screams, "Our love, what is this?" The two were walking and, to their surprise, they bumped into a red panties thrown on the floor. At that moment, they realized that something very wrong is happening. Screaming, Aline says, "What nonsense is this?" And in front of the two, the secretary wakes up scared next to her boyfriend. Both lying peacefully on their employer's bed. They couldn't explain themselves. The mistress screams, angry at what she has just seen, but what's going on here? The maid wakes up scared and apologizes to the boss. With clothes in hand, the mistress screams indignantly, "Look at my new dress here, I don't believe." The boss continues, "For God's sake, come on, get out of there, get dressed. I can't bear to look at this scene. You using my bed, how absurd, my God." And before she could leave the room, the mistress says, "Do you want to know something? You will pack your things and leave. I don't want to see you in my house anymore. You wore my lingerie." At that moment, the boss changes his voice and shows a lot of anger. "You do not have shame? Have you no respect for us? Get out of our house." And, wrapped in the blanket, Lillian comes out crying from the boss's room. "Aline, what is this? Who is this man? I already talked to you. You trust people a lot. We will never hire people like that again. Look what this girl did, sitting on the bed." The wife agrees, "I am not believing this. Using my stuff, my bed." The husband notices his wife's shock and tries to reassure her. "Now let's decide so we can send her away and never have this woman in the house again." So, still very angry, her husband leaves to finally put an end to that embarrassing situation and throw his ex-maid out of the house.